Oh, there we go.
It's showtime.
Showtime. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. It's dreary out today. We need some sunshine.
I know it, but we're going to be the sunshine this
We-
morning. We have got some
We sure are.
news to share. So
Yeah, it was an interesting week in real estate. I had a crazy settlement last week.
yeah, you did, didn't you?
I will be sharing that at some point, but not yet.
Well, that's for reals instead.
That's for real. Yeah.
Yeah. For real, that's for real.
Yeah.
So we last week established a base in regards to what we were going to be taking a look at and taking, actives and coming soons and so forth. So why don't we kind of talk about that? And we actually added something at the end, though, that we found interesting. So we'll see if that little hook pulled anybody in.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what happened last week in regards to new active homes. What did you find, Trisha?
New actives. Are you putting our banner up?
I'm going. Oh, do you need me to show it to you?
I need the banner because it's on a separate screen. So we had 582 new active listings, and the week before we had 581. So keeping pace there with the new actives coming on.
Right, which is good to see. But what I found what was interesting is that the coming soons last week there were 118 that were in a coming soon status, and this past week it was only 97. And you and I were talking about that. I think that because we're seeing consistently homes are finally starting to hit the market, people are recognizing, oh, I don't have time for coming soon. I need to get on the market now. Would you agree with that?
I do. I have, I'm going to be putting one up this weekend, and 3 houses on the same street just went up. So, and that road had like no activity for, basically a year or more. And now all of a sudden 3 in the same. So I do think that people are like, okay, let's just hit it rather than.
Yeah. I was in coming status for like 2 days and we went to active because it was just, we're going to go through.
Yep.
So the next one is really exciting. So under contracts. Now, last week, how many went under contract? Do you remember?
Under 543. I have it.
Ready? Yeah. Look how many went under contract last week.
722.
Yeah. And this is based off of the areas that we service, Bucks, Montgomery, Lehigh County. A lot more activity was happening in Lehigh County. Last week, we weren't seeing as many under contract, and they had a boom this past week. So that's, interesting too, that we're finally starting to see some more activity up north.
And I think people, like, we've gotten so used to saying like there's no inventory. There is inventory. It just goes really fast. And this is proof of it. 722 houses under contract. So there are homes out there. You just have to be aggressive with your offers.
Right. Now, next one is price reductions. So we had seen last week that 81 homes had a price reduction, meaning they were overpriced, right? Yep. So ready for this one?
118
homes. So, I mean, that's kind of encouraging for buyers to see, sellers are kind of put in their place.
They're right. And I think it's important because as a seller, when you are pricing, you have to be competitive. Yes, people are bidding over asking price, but if your asking price is competitive. If not, you're going to be one of these 118 next round and, be kicking yourself because you should have just priced where it should have been priced.
Now we have a new stat that we are going to start tracking, which is where we found the interesting, right? So it was back on markets. And let's explain what that is. Being back on market is, you went under contract and for whatever reason, now you're back.
Fell through.
You're back, right? It fell through. And
could be cold. Could be the buyer got cold feet. It could be, maybe the appraisal didn't work out. It could be inspections, anything like that. So,
so
42 back on market. So why this stat excites me so much is that if you're a buyer and you lost out on a house, I've had several buyers go under contract with a house they lost out on because of these back on markets. So just pay attention to that. Because stuff does happen. Buyers get cold feet. You have to make decisions really quickly.
And cold feet. I mean, you and I, sadly, we had a transaction together that my buyer ended up having, you know, a change of heart. So, and the other thing that we had talked about, honestly, is could possibly being going back on market have anything to do with having the sellers have a contingency to find suitable housing?
Yes, that was the other one.
If there's some timing in there, because again, you need to account for that. If we hopefully start seeing more homes available, the sellers that have those contingencies are going to be able to find a house and not have to go back on market. So those were our stats for this week. And we have a little teaser for next week. We're going to switch it up a little bit.
Next week, we're going to have, because everybody, you know, the burning question is interest rates. What's going on with interest rates? So we're going to have a special guest on. So special that we're not even sure who it's going to be. But we're going to find someone, one of our trusted lenders, to talk about interest rates, because that's the question that's on everybody's mind. What's going on? What's that going to do to affordability? And how's that look going into the future?
So that is the market update for this week, guys. And we will see you next Monday at 8:15. Thanks for hanging with me, Trisha.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.